He was the most feared man on the planet, a machine of destruction, a symbol of invincibility. But what happens when the untouchable gets touched? When the predator becomes the prey? 2 nights, 2 names, 2 fights that shook the foundations of boxing. Mike Tyson, the Iron Mike, the baddest man on the planet, brought to his knees, once by a forgotten underdog in Tokyo, and years later, by an unexpected hero in Kentucky. How? Why? And could it have all been avoided? The stories behind these 2 fights are as shocking as the punches that ended them. Betrayal, tragedy, and one man's unstoppable rise against all odds. This isn't just about boxing. It's about what happens when a legend meets his limits. Stay with us. The truth is just one punch away. Mike Tyson, a name synonymous with fear and dominance in the ring, entered the fight with the hopes of reigniting his career. Once the baddest man on the planet, Tyson was no longer in his prime, but his punching power and aura of danger still loomed large. On the other side was Danny Williams, a lesser-known British heavyweight who was seen as an underdog with little chance of winning. The opening bell rang, and Tyson came out like a man on a mission. He was aggressive, throwing powerful hooks and uppercuts that had made him a legend. He landed several brutal shots early on, and for a moment it felt like vintage Tyson had returned. Williams was under siege, barely surviving the onslaught in the first round. But Danny Williams had a secret weapon: resilience. Despite absorbing Tyson's heavy artillery, he stayed on his feet, refusing to buckle under the pressure. The crowd was electrified, cheering for Tyson's early dominance, but slowly taking note of Williams' incredible endurance. Midway through the fight, Tyson faced an unexpected challenge: his body. During an exchange, Tyson injured his left knee. He later revealed it was a torn ligament, and this injury dramatically limited his movement and explosiveness. For a fighter like Tyson, whose style relied on closing the distance and delivering knockout blows, this was a crippling setback. Williams noticed Tyson's struggle and adjusted his game plan. Rather than engaging Tyson in close quarters, he began to use his size and reach advantage, throwing long punches and leaning on Tyson in clinches to sap his energy further. By the 4th round, the tide had completely turned. Williams, who had absorbed so much punishment early on, began to unleash a ferocious attack. With Tyson's mobility compromised, Williams targeted him relentlessly, landing combinations to the head and body. His punches were precise and relentless, and Tyson, unable to defend effectively, found himself backed against the ropes. The decisive moment came when Williams launched a barrage of punches that left Tyson defenseless. Blow after blow landed, and the referee had no choice but to step in and stop the fight. It was over. Danny Williams had shocked the world with a TKO victory over one of boxing's most iconic figures. Williams' victory was a testament to his determination. He weathered Tyson's initial storm, exploited the injury, and unleashed his own firepower at just the right time. His ability to adapt mid-fight and capitalize on Tyson's weakened state was key to his success. The fight marked a significant chapter in both men's careers. For Tyson, it was another painful reminder that his prime was far behind him. For Williams, it was the crowning achievement of his career, a night where he defied the odds and etched his name into boxing history. This clash wasn't just about skill. It was a story of perseverance, adaptation, and the unyielding will to win. It's a fight that continues to resonate, a reminder that in boxing, anything can happen, and no legend is invincible. The date was February 11th, 1990, and the venue was the Tokyo Dome in Japan. Mike Tyson, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, walked into the ring as the most feared fighter on the planet. He was an unstoppable force, a human wrecking ball with 37 wins, 33 by knockout, and 0 defeats. Across the ring stood James "Buster" Douglas, a man no one gave a chance. Tyson's strategy was simple and ruthless. His entire game plan revolved around aggression. From the opening bell, he charged forward, throwing his signature hooks and uppercuts with devastating power. Tyson wanted to overwhelm Douglas, intimidate him, and end the fight early, as he had done so many times before. In Tyson's mind, the fight was already over before it began. He believed Buster wouldn't last more than a few rounds. But Tyson underestimated not just Buster's skill, but the fire burning inside him. From the first round, it was clear something was different. Douglas was sharp, confident, and relentless. His jab was a thing of beauty, snapping Tyson's head back and disrupting his rhythm. Tyson, who usually bulldozed his opponents, struggled to close the distance. For the first time, Tyson looked human, confused, frustrated, and unsure. The middle rounds saw Douglas dominate. He wasn't just surviving, he was winning. Tyson landed some heavy shots, but Douglas absorbed them and fired back with combinations that stunned the crowd. This wasn't the Tyson people knew. The unstoppable force was being outboxed, outworked, and outsmarted. In the 8th round, Tyson had his one shining moment. With his trademark uppercut, he sent Douglas to the canvas. The crowd erupted, and it seemed like the inevitable had finally arrived. But Douglas wasn't done. He got up, shaking off the knockdown, and finished the round with fury. Then came the 10th round, the moment that would go down in history. Douglas, sensing Tyson was fading, unleashed a brutal combination. A right uppercut followed by a series of lefts and rights. Tyson staggered, his legs buckled, and the unthinkable happened. Tyson fell to the canvas, his iconic aura of invincibility shattered. He scrambled to find his mouthpiece, dazed and disoriented, as the referee counted him out. The fight was over. Buster Douglas had done the impossible. He defeated Mike Tyson in a fight no one thought he could win. Tyson, unprepared and overconfident, had underestimated his opponent. It was a clash of heart versus hubris, and heart won. Douglas' victory wasn't just an upset. It was a moment that redefined boxing. It showed that even the greatest can fall and that, on the right night with the right mindset, the impossible can happen.